It's the Upx Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, thank me later, and you're stupid to win. Might become an obsession as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then lock in iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your Upx, man. On your way, and the door hit you with $4,000. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling and flipping over the movement.
Welcome, fellow Uplanders, to another episode of the Upx Podcast. I am your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, I'm joined by Thank Me Later. How are we doing this evening, my friend?
Beautiful night in Texas. I'm living the dream, man.
Absolutely. And special, we are streaming live on YouTube tonight on the Upland Action News. So thank you, LEFTHOUSE, for that. They're in the house. We got a great, I'm calling it a great episode. This is episode number 89. We have General Mort here. We'll do a nice little get to know you question and answer. And also he'll be talking about the portal that was just introduced today in Upland, which is exciting in itself. And yeah, a lot to talk about, a lot of exciting things going on. And this is being recorded on August 19th, 2021. So
I usually get upset when you try to Babe Ruth call a show before we even record it. However, given the quality of the guest speakers that we have, I think it's fair to just go ahead and say there's no reason that this shouldn't be a great show. If this is not a great show, it's almost entirely because of General Mort, LEFTHOUSE, and Mars. Like, they're the only ones that could mess this up. I'm just throwing that out there.
Because I mean,
I'll do my best.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds about right. I'm known to mess things up pretty often. So
all right.
So also make sure you're following us on Twitter at Upx Podcast, and we'll get the disclaimer right out of the way. The views, information, and opinions expressed on the Upx Podcast are solely those of myself, Thank Me Later, and any guest of the podcast, and do not necessarily represent or reflect those of Upland Me Inc., with the exception of today with General Mort representing Upland. So whatever he says, hold him to it. We are not implied by or provided insider information from the Upland team. All discussions about properties to buy and sell are not financial advice. Please do your own research first. And if TML hurts your feelings, that's the way of saying I love you. So show us where the bad TML touched you, and you'll get a prize.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of prizes, we will announce the winner tonight of the giveaway from last week. All you had to do was send me a DM telling me how great the podcast was, and you were entered to win 100,000 Upx from Thank Me Later.
Yeah, and apparently hardly any. They're like, they dislike you so much. They're like, is it worth $100 worth of Upx to send a nice message to Too Stupid? And people are like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. That's damn. That's a tough pill to swallow. I'm just saying.
Hey, do you really want to message a vomiting poo that's on fire?
For $100, I would lick a vomiting poo that was on fire. What are you talking about?
Ooh, we're definitely getting that on video.
Yeah, no, I don't like where this is going. For the record, I would not do that for $100. I'm sure that there is a price I would do that for, but $100 is definitely not the number.
We can go ahead and get a GoFundMe for this. We can make this happen.
Wow.
And TM's offering up 100 B tokens.
100 veto. Oh, well, now you're talking my language.
Yeah. You never know what you get when you tune into us. And at least everybody's learned by now to not just broadcast us without AirPods or headphones or any of that nature.
Yeah, we should not be distributed over open air.
Yeah. Oh, Franklin's not in the live audience tonight. That's always sad when he's not there.
Yeah.
All right. But yes, with no further ado, we'll bring on General Mort to talk some Upland. How are we doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be talking about the NFT portal. We're definitely really excited on our end, and definitely excited to share some of the cool highlights about it.
So what are some of the cool highlights since you made that nice little segue?
I mean, I think there are a lot of things to highlight there. I mean, this is a big innovation in the blockchain space. You know, the ability to port assets from other blockchains, from other ecosystems into Upland is, you know, quite literally revolutionary. I mean, it's a huge deal. You know, we know that this is a limited functionality in this first iteration, but you know, the possibilities really are endless at the end of the day to kind of bring those different things in. So I'm definitely very excited to see how it develops over time.
Yeah. So right now, the only thing that we can bring in from the NFT portal is the Upland cards that was done with Blockchain Heroes. Now, are the block explorers? You have some cards that have custom or the limited block explorers. Are we able to start using those block explorers with the portal now?
Yes. So any cards that include, excuse me, that include block explorers inside the cards are able to be ported into the game now. So if you are one of those lucky owners, you are free to do that.
And then I can just roll around with those awesome block explorers.
Exactly.
Nice.
What did that do to the price? Did anybody see after the announcement? I wasn't monitoring the market on it.
I have not. And usually our price monitor Dizzy is here to tell us all about it because he's always all over these type of things and he'd give us a breakdown, but he's not here tonight either.
We got some
Been talking
slackers.
about this. I've actually been doing one live right now. I've just moved one of my NFTs from Wax over to through the portal. So I'm waiting for it to show up in Upland. So I'll let you guys know when it shows up. Yeah.
Very
Oh
cool.
wow, that's cool.
Awesome. So we're still in the infancy of this portal. So what is the future of Upland with this portal? You
The
sort of
future
answered it, but kind of go a little further
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, I'd love to talk a little bit more about that. I mean, you know, as I mentioned, you know, this is kind of like the bridge. I see it as like a bridge to other worlds, right? I'm a huge gamer. I've played video games my whole life and a big online gamer to boot. And can't say I've ever encountered an opportunity where I was able to take my gaming assets out of an ecosystem and use them somewhere else, right? So that in of itself, I think, is a huge evolution for gaming and for blockchain. You know, the way that these things currently exist, you know, these are walled gardens. World of Warcraft is a walled garden. All of these things are, you know, those assets are native to those ecosystems. And we have an opportunity to kind of break that barrier, to break that mold and allow players to have more utility, more value, and just, you know, better use of their in-game assets. You know, we're rapidly approaching a world where purchasing a cosmetic skin in a game is no longer a one-way street. You could potentially profit off that skin later in life. You know, it's the same thing with block explorers and NFTs in the Upland metaverse. Is your ability to take that, to flip it, and continue to get value out of it. You know, for its lifetime, right? Outside of, you know, if I stop playing a game, then all my assets die with it, right? So this really is kind of an evolution of sorts, in my opinion. And I think that we're to continue to see these things kind of happen in the blockchain space, especially as a lot of these other games start to become a little bit more fleshed out, and as Upland starts to become a little bit more fleshed out. You know, we're looking at an opportunity where Upland could be kind of the gaming marketplace of the future.
So would I be able to take some of my NFTs that I import, maybe one of my top shots and maybe a horse from Zedrun, and then trade it for somebody's property in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely where we're headed. You know, as we connect to more and more blockchains and more ecosystems, you know, the core part there is, you know, we want to make sure that there's utility. We want to make sure that there's something for you to do with your NFTs when they come into Upland. You know, that's part of the reason that there's restrictions on it right now. You know, there's not really any point to putting your NFT into Upland if you can't display it in your player home or sell it in a Block Explorer store or something like that. So, you know, as those features come to life, and, you know, there's sufficient utility for those things to be used in the Upland metaverse, absolutely. I think that you're going to be able to trade and distribute and you know, sell really any kind of asset you want.
I would love to see in-game staking for the Upland cards. That would be super cool.
That would definitely be fascinating. As I know right now, I don't think we have any plans for you know, staking with NFT assets outside of what we have with Spark. But I definitely think that's an interesting opportunity. I know a lot of different NFT projects out there doing some kind of like yield farming mechanics and staking mechanics with their actual NFTs. So definitely we'll be taking a look into that.
And Is there a timeline yet? Because right now, hey, we got the portal up and running, which is a huge milestone, and
Yep.
that's probably something that was as exciting as property development. It did push the business licenses and the business development. But is there a timeline right now to start incorporating? What's it going to take to start incorporating, like bringing in your Top Shot to display it
Sure.
in the home? Is there a timeline to start incorporating these other blockchains to be able to import?
I don't really have a timeline right now. A lot of the things we work with are, they're moving targets. We kind of roll with the punches and go along with what we have. I think the good news is that having the NFT portal out there is just a huge step for our infrastructure. It shows that the infrastructure is there, that we can support it, and it's just a matter of kind of keying in on the different things that are going to, be built on top of that infrastructure, right? So uh, we've taken a big leap forward is the point, and I think that more of these things will fall into place much faster as time goes on. It's one of those things you have to build up your foundation right before you can kind of take off running, and I think we're getting closer and closer to that point.
So it sounds like this portal will be a big help to businesses like Block Explorer shops.
Absolutely. I mean, I think this is kind of one of the most exciting use cases for the NFT portal is, giving players like an accessible platform that everybody can use. I've been involved in blockchain space for quite some time now, and I've said for probably 4 years now that the biggest hurdle the blockchain faces is the user experience. It's very difficult to understand and get involved with, especially Ethereum and DeFi and the NFT space. Just requires a level of technical prowess that a lot of players or a lot of people don't have. A lot of people use products because they're easy to use, right? So we're trying to build that user-friendly ecosystem where even grandma can come in and purchase NFTs. I don't know that grandma would want to, but point being is, we'll have an accessible marketplace where everybody can come in and freely trade and not be restricted by their technological prowess.
Now, getting grandma to buy NFTs, that's interesting. I was Wayne Gretzky. Did you jump in the Wayne Gretzky NFT release this week?
I did not, but I did see that it was going on. That was on DraftKings, right?
Correct, through Autograph IO and DraftKings.
Right.
But somebody was like, I'm trying to get my grandma to sign up right now so she can get in queue so she can help me get one. Like, people are signing their grandmas up and trying to walk them through. Here, grandma, I'm signing you up to a casino slash sports book slash daily fantasy slash NFT marketplace, and just push these buttons, I tell you.
Yeah, I don't think grandma's gonna have a good time with that experience, but a hope is that Upland can be that place where it's just easily accessible for everybody, and everybody can be a part of the blockchain excitement and kind of revolution, with ease.
That is pretty exciting. And the interesting thing is just the potential, because I know we had Edon and Dirk on, and they hinted at stuff with crypto motors, and this is going to
Mhm.
be a way that we're going to get these vehicles into Upland, correct?
Yeah. I don't have a ton of details on the crypto motor stuff right now, but that is absolutely something we're working on. We definitely want to get cars integrated to Upland. And I think that there's going to be a lot of exciting pathways to just, player engagement and in-game events with, the integration of cars. So I'm definitely really excited to see how that all plays out. As of right now, though, I don't have any, unique and exciting information to share on that front. Nothing you guys haven't already heard is my point.
Right. Thank me later. What questions do you have?
If you could design a custom block explorer, what would you design?
Ooh, that's an excellent question, actually. I would love to see some music themed block explorers. I'm a huge music guy. I'm a trained jazz saxophonist, so I don't know, maybe something like that. Maybe a cute little saxophone. That would be pretty dope. I'm not sure. I haven't really thought too much about that. I'd like to make maybe a robot that says "We are not a bot." I don't know if you guys saw what happened in our auction that one time, but that would be pretty funny.
That would be pretty good. Yeah. What's the next big event? Do you think you guys are going to do something for Memorial Day, Labor Day? When's that one coming up?
Labor Day is coming up.
Labor Day. So I always mix those two up.
I know I do the same thing. It's really difficult. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing anything for Labor Day just yet. We are kind of in the process of planning out the next couple of weeks. But nothing really set in stone just yet. So we are going to have the Staten Island Land Rush, which you guys saw this weekend, which I'm pretty excited about. We're going to have a scavenger hunt. It's the first one we've had in I think about a month. So really excited to see people get their hands on that. I think it's going to be fun. We designed it a little bit differently this time, at least with regards to tiers and registration fees and stuff. So hopefully, it's a really exciting event. We're also going to be paying out way more places than we typically do. I'm sure you guys have noticed, but we're kind of making an effort to include more people in the winnings when it comes to our events. So instead of paying out, the top 5 or 10, we're, now starting to do more like the top 50 to 100. So that is the case in this next scavenger hunt. We will be giving rewards to the top 50 players. So it's much more opportunity for people to win and get involved.
Very cool.
I mean, there was a lot that happened this week. If you really think about it. We're revealing Cleveland collections. You have the Staten Island Land Rush, and we have ultra rare scavenger hunt, reverse auctions, and ultra rare property sales in the Upland store. Plus, you have the East Coast just opened up for construction, so we can start building out east, which also includes Cleveland and Chicago. The team's been pretty busy.
Yeah, we certainly have. This has been a pretty wild week. And the funny thing is, we don't really expect it to slow down anytime soon. Things are looking like they're just going to continue to ramp up. But yeah, a ton happened this week. We're really excited to open East Coast for you guys. We know that the community was super excited about that. And we're kind of getting to a point where I think the metaverse is just going to be more popping. There's going to be more stuff going on at any given time, and it's to be expected. So not every event is going to be on the front page. It's not going to be the hallmark. We are going to start having things that are running concurrently, and we want, my vision for Upland is for it to be a place where people can come in and there's always stuff to do. Right now we know that's a struggle, and these are the events that we host are kind of the primary driver of those things, but we want to create a space where there's always something fun.
Now, as it expands, I can imagine that the team's going to have to grow and have a lot of different meetings, because you're going to have so many cities with so much individual things that you're just going to have hub leads or something going on in Upland, in the Upland headquarters, because there's just going to be so many players, so many properties, so many things going on.
Absolutely. I mean, we're growing the team pretty much as fast as we can right now, but it does take time to find, the right people. That's kind of one thing that we're really focused on, is finding the right people. We don't want to bring in just anybody to, for the sake of hiring. We want to make sure that, the people that we're bringing on are engaged and excited about what we're doing. I mean, we're in a pretty interesting space that I think really does require a degree of passion for it, right? I certainly am passionate about the blockchain space and the gaming space, so this is kind of a perfect fit for me, really a dream come true. So we're scaling as fast as we can. We know that we get some comments that we're not doing it fast enough, but we're doing our best. I promise you that.
Yeah. So you have any more portal questions before we transition to just the general Mort questions? Thank me later.
No, I'm excited. Thanks for coming on. That's super cool.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you mentioned you've been doing gaming for years. So how do you decide to work for something like Upland instead of getting involved in Upland?
I think, well, first off, I actually was introduced through a recruiter. So I was pretty lucky with kind of how everything fell into place. And, I kind of had a focus on looking for my next job that I definitely wanted to be in blockchain. I spent some time working in gaming, a little bit in esports, and blockchain had always been a very strong passion of mine, at least over the last 4 years or so. And when I heard about Upland, I actually was initially kind of not that interested, funnily enough. And then I got to talking with the team, and they started kind of painting the vision for me. And that's when I started to get really excited. It's one thing when you kind of see what's out there and you hear what other people say, but when you start to hear it from directly from the founders, it kind of gives you a different perspective. So I was really excited speaking with both Manny, Dirk, or all three, Manny, Dirk, and Edon, and they brought me on board, and I've been super happy and excited. It's definitely been a pleasure working with this team, and doing something different, doing something that kind of has never been done before. So that's been really, really exciting.
So what did you do for esports?
I actually, I got involved kind of right out of, not really right out of college. Actually, in college, I had my own little tournament company for a little while where I was hosting League of Legends tournaments on a weekly basis. And then I kind of left that and started a more, cookie cutter marketing role for a little while. And then I got into designing games a little bit, freelance. And then after that, I was actually working with another blockchain company called Pocketful of Quarters. And they are kind of working on creating the universal gaming currency. They're kind of trying to integrate their token into a bunch of different games and allow those people to use that token to do things like participate in esports tournaments. So actually the product I was working on was called Scrim to Win. I think it's called something else now, but basically what we would do is we would work with not Scrotum, Scrim to Win. We were pretty focused in on the Fortnite community. So we worked with a lot of Fortnite creators to basically host tournaments for their community, and everything was powered by our tokens. So players would pay their entry fees with the token quarters, and then they could stand to win more quarters and then spend them in the store for things like, merchandise, PC accessories, that kind of thing. So that was kind of my first foray into esports on an official basis. And also actually, that was technically my second foray into blockchain on an official basis, because I actually had my own Ethereum mining farm for a little while as well. But yeah, that was a cool experience. It definitely got my feet wet in a lot of different ways. And, it was a really small team. So I got a chance to really grow and be a part of that platform and grow that community. And I've kind of taken just everything I've learned there over to Upland, and trying to both take what I've learned and continue growing on it and just iterate and make it better, and also learn a bunch of new things, because obviously this is an entirely different new challenge. And this community is definitely very passionate, and we recognize that, and it's also can be a challenge for us, which is super fun actually. It's really exciting to be a part of a community that cares as much as the Upland community does.
Nice. I'll let Thank Me Later take over, because he's a big gamer, big online gamer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you guys geek out for a couple minutes.
What do you play?
Well, I mean, I was a big World of Warcraft player for a long time, probably, I don't know, over a decade. That was kind of my jam.
You and me both.
So I'm a big fan. MMO RPGs, I like those. Anything where I can collect things, which again is definitely one of the appeals of Upland. Right now I'm into Eidolon, which is this single developer MMO idol game, and it's really fun. He has a lot of compelling gaming mechanics, which I appreciate. And since it's single developer, he's got a very kind of unique sense of humor, and it comes through in the world that he's created. So I like those kind of like casual games. It's nice because, back in the day, World of Warcraft, I would grind all weekend for mats and stuff. And here it's, the idle, just kind of set up your whatever, and then go for, sorry, my work, who never calls me, is calling me. Ignore. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, and so it's nice to be able to like have an idle type game where you can kind of, earn in the background, which also is, one of the appeals of Upland. You kind of get your collections and your stuff set up. So do you play any games now?
Oh, absolutely. I've been, like I said, I really am a lifelong gamer. I think from about as long as I can remember. I was the kid that my brother gave the controller that was not plugged in.
Nice.
But so watching from the sidelines a lot when I was younger, but huge World of Warcraft guy in my youth, my early days, my teens. I was way deep in that. I've played a lot of League of Legends, a bunch of shooters, Rust, Apex Legends, a little bit of Counter-Strike and whatnot. Really kind of anything. I also really like strategy games and RTS, things like Civilization and Most recently, Humankind came out, which I've been dabbling in. So I have a pretty diverse.
That just came out like on the 17th or 18th.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Yeah, it looks like Civilization. I bought it. I played all of like 10 seconds. And I haven't really had a chance to bite into it. So is it worth, diving into it?
I think it's definitely well done. I think that they missed on a few things. I loved Civ 5. I couldn't say I loved Civ 6 that much, but they did do some things that were like, they took away some of the frustrating things about Civ, but then they also added in a couple frustrating things about their game. So, it's very similar to Civ in terms of the way it plays, in terms of the progression and the pacing, and even the diplomacy and the science stuff. But overall, I think it's a good game. I definitely think they did a good job executing on that feel, on that vibe. But there's definitely some room for growth. So I'm hoping that they, clean some things up over time. I think they also are going to have mod support. So I'm actually pretty interested to see how that plays out, because, these days, the modding community does things that are super spectacular. So they could just fix all the things that I hate potentially, which I'm kind of hoping on.
Yeah. Well, on that, do you think that Upland would ever bring in some of those like RPG Civ type elements into Upland, or a mod community to maybe have overlays and things like that to use the metaverse that's being created?
I think it's definitely possible. I can't say for sure that that's in the works or anything yet. But as we do kind of grow with regards to our third-party developer community and start to, let more people have their hands in the actual development of the metaverse, I definitely think that things like that are very natural and should fall into place. So, there are even things that I want to design, for Upland in terms of, mini games and things, different ways to interact with the platform. It's just dev constraints, right? We're just at a point where we're so fixated on our infrastructure and kind of building it out and setting us up to do all those things, that there isn't a whole lot of time for them yet. So I think as time goes on, though, and we start to clean those things up, and we get to a point where our infrastructure is super solid, that I absolutely could see a bunch of different games finding their ways, or at least mini games, into the Upland metaverse. So I'm very excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah. No, I just hope that there's more RPG type elements. I mean, I see a huge opportunity for like equipment slots on your Explorer for various things.
Totally.
I mean, there's
equipment. What are you going to do with your Block Explorer with equipment slots? Going to get some RPGs and just start firing at other Explorers?
Maybe you get a sword and you start fighting each other. Anything.
I mean, you
possible.
could do that. You could do that. I'm thinking more visual like slots. So again, a slot that you could change your trail color. A slot that like in your trail
brown.
Yeah. So like, well, not even that. Like it could be like, a trail of poo and corn, like that's on fire. Like, come on, get imaginative. Like I'm trying to think of the soccer game that you do with the cars. I always forget the name of it. Rocket League. Yeah, like Rocket League's got all those things. Like, I want an animation for when I find a treasure that appears on everyone's map. Like I want a custom, like, congrats, like a little firework, but it plays like anybody who's in the area that I'm in, it like plays it across everyone. So that like if you're in the treasure hunt, you see it like explode, and it's custom to each person. Like you can buy different ones of that. Like I want to see the world come alive. I want to see what other people are doing, and I want to be able to interact with them in a meaningful and fun way. Like that's what I'm waiting for.
No, I totally agree, and I think that that's a place that we have to get to. I think that there are so many things that we can do that are going to be really interesting in the future, and I definitely have my eye on player customization, and just being
please get rid of the damn tokens. Get rid of the tokens, please. Just let me hide them. I'm missing my turtle. It's so depressing.
We are working on something to fix that, because I definitely hear the player concerns on that. It sucks when you buy a Block Explorer and then half of it's cut off because of all the tokens. So right. I know that there's a solution being on that from a design perspective. So soon TM is all I can really say. But
it was cool when there were 21 and you're like, look, I got all
For
21
sure.
chips, but now
Yeah.
you're over 100 and something, and you're just like, eh.
No, I mean, there's definitely better ways to represent that visually and still make people feel excited about the all the collections that they've completed and whatnot. So, to kind of sum up my point is just I definitely have an eye on player customization and just being invested in your block explorer and your Upland profile, your account. I think that we definitely want to make people feel like they have an attachment to the game and to the world. So we're definitely gonna be working on stuff to get that stuff done. So I'm really excited about it. It's just like I said, focus is infrastructure first. We gotta walk before we can run.
Yeah, and as someone who's a software architect for their day job, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And it's hard, the gamer side of me gets frustrated because I want content, I want
Yeah,
features.
totally.
But I can tell you that I'm a part of almost every launch of any sort of thing now in the NFT space that's like gaming related, or I try to at least check it out. And I think Upland, it's still has a lead because its mobile interface is so much well incorporated and is part of the core. So scaling up the infrastructure, I understand it from a strategic move, and I appreciate, because it would be way easier to make money opening up a bunch of customizable slots and selling in-app purchases like every other game.
Totally.
That would be the easy way to make money. So I do appreciate that you guys are investing in features that are going to create sustainability versus quick cash flow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think you've seen it. I know we've had some problems. We had some problems with the Santa Clara release, but even with Chicago and Cleveland, from a technical perspective and from a a lag perspective, those were some of our best releases yet. And those were those efforts paying off.
Don't get me started on Cleveland. No.
Oh my God. Had nothing to do with the technical though.
No, technical was awesome and it was amazing. It was great, but yeah.
Right. I understand the concerns there too, and we've talked about that. There are going to be some things that that we're working on with regards to how we release cities and what the process for revealing collections is. So obviously just stay tuned on what those changes are going to be. But we recognize that the systems that we've been using right now are not ideal necessarily. So we're always constantly looking to change things and make it better for the players. Sometimes we try things and they miss, and that's okay. And it sucks, but we're doing our best to continue to iterate and continue to change and just make sure that we can create a good experience over the long term. This really is beta, and I know that people will get on us for using the beta excuse too much, but that's just the nature of where we're at. And we're not trying to hide behind it. It's just in all honesty, it's where we are.
Well, and I think what people need to appreciate is that in this term, I also think beta represents the fact that Upland is doing things that just have never been done. Like you are beta testing the blockchain capabilities of what is being built. So it goes beyond just like, oh, you're in a normal beta because we haven't developed the features. We're in a beta because the technology literally doesn't exist and it's being built specifically for Upland and this metaverse. So to me, I think that that's a really big difference. It's not like, oh, well, we haven't decided what our third act boss is going to be, and we haven't got all the exact fighting mechanics down. It's like, no one's done this.
No,
we got to figure out this.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, and that's one of the most challenging things, when we're communicating with the community is, I think we have a pretty diverse audience. Some people are crypto heads, and I think those people are more forgiving. And then I think some people come in and, they've never done anything in DeFi or blockchain or crypto. So, they're stunned when things aren't perfect, when things don't work the way they expect them to. But like you said, quite literally, it's because this stuff has never been done before. So we're rolling with the punches. We're doing what we can while we do it, and we're trying to iterate fast and change fast. But obviously, it's just a huge challenge. These things are being developed for the first time, so all we can say is to ask for everybody to bear with us and to continue to have faith in our platform and our ability to scale and change it as time goes on.
Now, the other interesting thing that I just thought of when we were talking about the collections, how many players still hold all the collections? Because there's a lot of collection swaps going on. You know, hey, I get the token, I get the
Sure.
bonus and all that. It'd be interesting to know how many players actually hold all the collections out of all the people that claim to have collected all the collections.
Yeah, I don't have the answer on hand right now, but that would be something interesting to look into. And now that you said it, it is something I want to find out about. From my experience, I haven't really, there haven't been any red flags with regards to anybody like
Oh
having all
no,
the collections or anything like that. But,
it's
that would
just
definitely would be
interesting
interesting.
that it's a
No,
normal
for
thing.
sure. I
And then
mean, that's one of the things with the open market. It's like, it's not like we can control who owns everything, right? We
right,
want the market to determine how that all plays out.
like TM with his 10,000 properties,
Yeah, exactly. Like TM with this 10,000 properties.
which is insane.
No,
But
it's totally awesome. I think it's
it
great.
is. It is, and it's insane all in the same aspect. Now,
100%.
speaking with the whole beta thing, will Upland ever shake the beta term? Because you're always exploring, and there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with it because you're creating it, you're developing it, you're integrating it, and it's just interesting. But would you ever shake the beta because you're always going to be incorporating something new and pushing the edges of blockchain along with gaming and economy and
sure.
marketplaces?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fantastic question because, even like I said, as a gamer, like watching so many of these games that are in, alpha or early access or beta, and then they just never really come out of beta, or sometimes they do, and it's 7 years later. The lines have really blurred between what's a finished product. I've played AAA titles these days that feel like they're in beta, right? So
Yeah.
it's all just sometimes it's all just semantics, really. I'm a huge Rust player, and Rust, I think, was actually in beta for 7 years. I think they came out of beta just last year. And, so I don't anticipate us being in beta forever. I think at some point, we'll shake the beta tag and, call ourselves a quote unquote unfinished product. But as you mentioned, we're going to be iterating, we're going to be changing, we're going to be innovating, probably forever. This is not a space where we're allowed to sit still. So, I'm sure we'll get to a point where we feel like the user experience is comfortable enough and we're fully featured enough where we don't think we need to say that we're in beta anymore. But that absolutely doesn't mean we're going to stop growing and changing and continuing to improve.
Nice. All right. We did take up a lot of your time this evening. Do you have anything for us before we let you go?
Not really. I just want to say thank you guys for having me on. I know it wasn't your first pick as a guest, but I hope I filled in and did everything that Edon would have done.
We had a first pick. Dang, dang, that's so mean. Mort, for the record, I didn't know that, and you're always my first pick. So
well, I'm happy that I'm somebody's first pick.
Wow.
No, I'm just messing around. It was really a pleasure talking to you guys, and I appreciate you having me on. Definitely always a pleasure to have an opportunity to talk about the game that I'm excited about.
Yeah. And usually we're pretty quick with getting new community members in. So it's an epic fail on my part because I'm the one.
Oh, no worries, man.
But yeah, I did reach out to Edon and Derek and said, hey, can somebody from the team come on to talk about the portal? And then Edon actually, we were trying to make that work, but he wasn't available for the live. Then he gave us General Mort. And General Mort, how long have you been with Upland now?
Oh, it really hasn't been too long. It feels like an eternity because so much has happened, but I've really only been here since the beginning of April. So, a lot has happened in that time, and I've learned a ton in that time, and just honestly had a fantastic experience so far. So, just really looking forward to what the future holds.
Yeah, that's a fail on my part because usually we're pretty quick. Get you in when in the first couple of
No worries. Absolutely no worries. I'm not sure I would have had the time necessarily. So
yeah. No, but thank you so much for coming on, talking about the Upland portal, getting the community to know a little more about you and everything that drives and your passion. And it's awesome to have somebody with your experience, your background, and your passion on the Upland team, looking at the user experience and how to make it better, and still working on the infrastructure as Upland pushes the technology to create a very interesting and exciting metaverse.
absolutely, and I'm happy to be a part of it, and happy to have such a vibrant community that we can work with. And like I said, just looking forward to how this all plays out.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, and we'll definitely chat soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you guys so much for having me. I will talk to you soon.
All right. Cheers.
All right. Enjoy your night, guys. Good night.
Thanks. All right. So a lot more stuff going on. That was a great interview. Thank you, General Moore and the Upland team for making them available to hang out with us this evening. Where do we want to go next there? Thank me later.
Oh, to bed? I'm
To
sleepy.
bed.
That was a lot of information.
It was. But to bed, it's still early your time.
Is it so early?
Yeah.
No. I think I want to talk to my boy Lefty and Mars, I reckon.
All right, we can bring them
They've been
on.
sitting here so nice in the audience. Left is hosting us on the Upland Action News.
Yeah, it's been pretty exciting. I've just been running the NFT portal. I just brought in my Block Explorer. I just brought in one of those stickers right now. It's beautiful. It works like a charm.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I brought two in while you guys were talking to the man about it. So pretty fun.
Dang.
Yeah, so the people are getting to see it live while you guys are talking about it.
That was one of
did one on the news earlier. There was a little bit of a panic. He was a little impatient, so I'm glad it was smoother this time.
Oh yeah, thank you.
and
It was a
thing-
rough start to the day.
That was one thing we didn't talk to General Mort about or talk about is if you got your Wax Cloud wallet, it's not going to play. You're going to have to get a scatter or an anchor or something different there and transfer your stuff to that to get it into Upland.
Right, that's right.
Oh, it
yeah.
doesn't work with the Wax Cloud wallet?
No, you got to work it with a scatter or an anchor, I believe, at the moment.
Oh,
There were a couple other wallets that it works with, but Wax Cloud wallet was not one of them.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting because I feel like 90% of people would have a Wax Cloud wallet and not Anchor or whatever.
Wax,
I had no issues with the Wax Cloud wallet.
yeah, Wax
FYI.
is working. Wax is working for some. Some people are having errors when doing it, but it does work.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like, dang, that would be, no offense, that would be a big gap in my mind. Like, Wax Cloud wallet is like where most people I feel like would be.
And a couple of days ago, I know they were working with Wax to incorporate the Wax Cloud wallet into it, but it wasn't on the first part of it. And that's good. And a lot of people did make a good point in the couple of meetings leading up to it is, as you get more valuable NFTs on the Wax chain, that you want to do something a little more secure than a web-based or a cloud-based wallet just for security purposes.
I'd agree with that.
All right. Sorry to cut you off, guys, on that one, but back to the real reason that you guys are here. We got a METAVERSE drop coming here soon.
Yes, indeed. Tomorrow morning, like afternoon for Mars, morning for me.
right at noon for me. So yeah, the whitelist is 11 a.m. Eastern, and the public sale is high noon. So out there, we're gonna get Left House up early, so 9 o'clock on the Pacific.
9 o'clock, yes. 9 o'clock. All right, I gotta mark my calendar.
So what is this drop happening tomorrow?
All right, so we have finally the official issue number 1 of METAVERSE, and so there'll be 2 different kinds of packs, but each one will have a comic and then a 1-card pack that is gonna kind of cap off the end of series 1. So and then there'll be 2 levels, the common pack and the rare pack. And
What do you
it'll
get in
be-
the rare pack?
so there'll be 3 levels of comics. So the common is going to be the standard comic that you'll read in the e-reader. If you log into our website, you'll be able to swipe right through the pages. We did put lore stories out, so if anybody's seen that, but we did
I've got it
put a
up
lot
on the
of-
screen behind us. Yeah, so it's happening if
yeah.
you're watching the YouTube.
I forgot we're on YouTube. I'm not used to this while I'm on with you fellas. The visual aids. And yeah, so but as you work your way up to the legendary, you know, our good buddy LeftHouse here works some insane magic on that one. And you know, once you flip the cover over, you're essentially going to be, you know, watching an animation, voiceovers. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
And one thing that's like really crucial and important to know about issue 1 of METAVERSE Comics is this story, this episode takes place in and around our beloved Upland. So if you're an Upland lover like we are, you're gonna love this story.
And what's that story
That's
based
fair to
on?
say, right? What's that?
Big picture of the story, so everybody kind of wants to go out and get that tomorrow. Well, they'll probably miss it because they'll listen to it after the actual release. But still, big picture for everybody. What's the concept of, you know, we're in Upland, what's going on with the story in Upland?
Yeah, we won't try to give too much away, but you know, there's not too many conflicts to be had at this point in Upland. So, you know, there may be some exploitation of some rules that the team stumbles onto and is alerted to through the essence. So if you think about the ways that people happen to try to bend the rules in our beloved Upland, I don't want to spoil too much of it, but I think everybody will enjoy it and have a good time.
I'm not gonna lie, you have me intrigued. You know that you do know, just for the record, that I technically created the first Upland fan fiction. I just want to throw that out there. People don't know this on publish.io or publish.xo, whatever that one is, the publish site. In the early days, I actually wrote a first-person narrative fanfic as Thank Me Later the Turtle exploring the Upland metaverse with his Upland friends.
Oh, there's the one I read about you and Miles too, but we might not want to get into those details here.
Yeah, I know that one was publish.xoxo.
Well, conflicts. I mean, we had the conflicts to the trailers, and it was socioeconomic, and then there was TML versus Panhandle, then there was TML versus TM.
I mean, not so much personal conflicts, but more so, you know, within the structure of the game, things like that. You know,
Gotcha.
Yeah, there'll be some locations that you guys will recognize for sure.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and so there's a lot of Upland in this first one for sure. And yeah, like Mars was saying, like as the rarities advance, you know, the pages start to dance and glitter, and then when you get to the legendary, it's full voice actors. So like we all played ourselves, but like in character, and then we're lucky enough to get some professional actors to play a couple of the voices. So we have James Duval, who's playing one of the voices, and Mark Boone Jr., who's also playing the voice of the boss. Yes. So yeah, no, true story. Both of these guys have acted in films that I've made, and I've become pals with them along the way. So, you know, I reached out to them, was like, hey, you guys want to play voices in this comic book? And they were like, well, what the hell is it? And I was like trying to explain metaverses and NFTs. And then I was like, don't worry about that. Just focus on your character. And they did incredible jobs, man. Like, they're super fun when they pop up in the legendary there.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, we're very excited. You know, those guys are both as legit as it gets, and it was a fun time sitting back and writing the script and knowing who was going to be saying it. So it's been exciting. Can't wait to get it out to everybody.
Yes, very soon now.
And yep, I'm not sure if you said it, but we're gonna break LeftHouse's heart. You know, he loves this one. There's only gonna be 100 of those legendaries with the voiceovers in it.
Yeah, so that's the thing that's really chapping my hide here. So you have to open up a rarity pack to get a legendary, and if you don't, you know, I mean, you probably won't because there's only 100 in there. So then you're gonna have to rip another one, and I'm just like trying to figure out what's my budget for how many I'm gonna rip before I say, okay, that's enough. I've now spent all my wax, all my, you know, I just don't know what to do here. I want one, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. And Mars, you got some exciting news too, don't you?
Yes, yeah. You
Uncle
talking
Mars
about what
Venus?
just
Is that what we're talking about? Uncle Mars Venus here?
Uncle Mars Venus. That sounds kind of incestual, but
He's a married man now.
but yeah, congratulations there. I was thinking more selfish to the podcast, but we're approaching a year mark there for.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, we weren't trying to put his personal business on blast. Damn.
well,
I'm
I
proud
kind
of
of
the
did put
boy,
my
yeah.
personal business on blast. Actually, there's a picture from the wedding day that I put up on Twitter. So
Congratulations
good.
there.
yeah, so yeah, it fell at a very non-busy time.
Right.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Right.
With all your projects.
When we planned this out a year ago, which is where you were going, when I had basically just written McDuckin and Upx, and I think the mask had made its first public appearance, and then here we are a year later. Who would have known?
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. Feels like forever ago.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just thinking about that. I think it was actually, August 28th was the date I came out with you fellas for the first time.
Whoa, yeah, that's crazy. Crazy, it's been a year.
I will validate that, and I still have the original beat. So if we want to do something live, I can just cue it up and play it.
Oh man, you think that'll work out? Let's see, we can go for it. I've been trying to think. I've been trying to think of a way to fire it up, but as we see when you watch Left House and I on the news, it's hard to get the music to come through the Zoom.
Or and that's something we're going to experiment with next week too. Is trying to do it, see if I can record while doing a stage in Discord.
Okay, maybe we get together and I'll come back next week and we bust out McDuckin and Upx.
Yeah, or I can send you the file and actually, yeah, we'll figure that out next week. But yeah, that's awesome that has been around for a year now. So
yeah, it's time flies in the metaverse, but yeah, also it's crazy that it has already been a year. And then
I've got the visuals of the McDuckin and Upx on the show right now, so people can see it, but they can't hear it right now. But it's
so
up. Yeah.
you think it's time to write version 2 of it since Upland has expanded so much?
I was thinking about that recently. Maybe we at least get
change the $4,000 to $6,000.
Yeah. Is so much. It's funny when you listen to the full song. We hadn't even gotten into New York yet.
No.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited about being able to build in these other cities now? Pretty cool.
Oh, who the hell is building somewhere other than SF? What's wrong with you?
They're building all over.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Now,
SF or bust.
Yeah, now one thing has not changed in that year. I am still repping Buena Vista hard, so we're building there.
Hey, so I got to send some spark that way.
It's slowing down for me because I'm a little too generous. I end up just throwing spark at some random people's buildings because I feel bad for them.
You feel bad for them?
Yeah, I see somebody like, it's gonna take me 897 years, like our guy Bojack's, and all of a sudden, I rally the troops, and I get building for him, but it slows me down.
Yeah, no, I understand. I just started a building in Chicago, but I only had like 0.6 sparks, so it's gonna take like 396 days or something like that.
Yeah, so you're one of those people. I'm gonna end up helping you.
Throw in, man. Just spare some spark.
But let me just quick get out the details on the packs so that people know exactly what's happening. Since we got a little off course, because the 100 legendary packs are going to be sought after, and they're only available in the rare pack. So the way it's set up, the common pack is going to have almost all common books, there's a very small chance to get a rare. And then if you get the rare pack, you're guaranteed to get a rare book, which, you know, has all the animations and the beautiful stuff. And then that also have the 100 legendaries. So if you want a shot at those, you need the rare comic pack.
And what's the breakdown between common packs and rare packs?
Let's see. So there's 4,900 commons, or this is the actual count. I'm sorry. The you know, I don't have the actual pack numbers, but there's 6,000 books total. So I guess the packs are equivalent. I can do the 1-to-1 math now that I think about it. So there's you know, 6,000 total, 4,900 commons, 1,000 rare, and 100 legendary. And you know, each one will have the one card pack. What's that? I'm sorry.
What prices are we looking at for the
So
common and the rares?
The common is 20 and the rare is 50. And each one comes with the one card pack. And those have a tear card that ADK Original has cooked up, which is a combination of the Series 1 cards. So it looks like a black and white citizen card, and then some of it has been torn off and reveals the champion card in color. And those evolve in the same rarity structure as the first series. And then also in those, there'll be 5 packs that get 2 cards, and those will have a 1-of-1 collector's edition in there. So that'll be huge for those people.
Very
Nice.
nice.
All right, now I gotta get in on this. What time do I need to? I gotta move. I gotta get
11 your time.
11 a.m. my time.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah,
On
so-
Wax, on Wax, or it's
On
got
Wax.
metaphor. Okay, like Wax. So if I go to like the Wax marketplace, they'll have a link there.
We don't have a link up yet. We'll be putting it up in the morning.
Yeah,
like before it
the
goes.
sale will be on Atomic Hub.
Yeah. And
Gotcha.
so we'll put up the link from the METAVERSE Discord probably in the announcements as soon as we got it, and then like from there we'll go out to Twitter's and, you know, the Left House Discord, and I'll be live on the air, so we'll be shouting it out there, and yeah, we'll be spreading it wide in the morning.
Yeah, and yeah, so the cards will be fun. Those cards, there's no difference in the card packs between the common and the rare, so you can get those collector's editions anywhere out of the card packs.
Gotcha. Well, now I want to go for one of these legendaries. That's what I'm going for now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. You got these voiceovers from
That's
these
where the party
guys.
is.
But yeah, I mean, they're all very cool. You know, the e-reader is, you know, super proud of that. Those guys did an awesome job on that. The way that you can grab the corner of the page and it starts to reveal the other NFT, you know, is really cool. You know, that's also some exciting news. You know, we're officially partnered with Wax, listed, you know, in the Wax Cloud wallet as a DApp. That you can, you know, the ability to sign into our website and read your comics that way.
Very nice. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's huge. It's you know, took a lot of work. You know, gonna give a lot of credit to our guy Recurrier on that one, but you know, it's the website is really cool and we're proud of that one. So you know, the comic is totally decentralized, so you don't have to read it on our website. You know, if you're, you know, one of those super tech, you know, people, you can read it, you know, anyway, but the easiest user experience is going to be going right to metaversecomics.io and just logging in with your Wax wallet, and you'll be able to flip right through it. So I think Left House is maneuvering around here on YouTube if you're watching.
Yep, that's right. Everything you guys have been saying, I've been visually mirroring it perfectly the whole time.
You're good.
Perfecto.
How many pages is this first issue going to be?
118. No, I'm just kidding. It's what is it, Mars? 16?
It's 16, but that's counting covers too. So, but no advertisements, no sending away for any Dakota rings or anything.
Not this episode or issue.
And Left House, is that James Duval, Generation Doom, and Donnie Darko? Is that who you got?
Yes, that's the one. He's also the main kid in Independence Day, and I think he was in Speed or one of those action films as well. Tons of horror films, tons of the Gregoraki films he was in. Yeah, he's been in so many iconic, like, indie legendary films. Got, fan bases from this corner of the world, that corner of the world. When we were roommates, like, he would go off to England to go to autograph signing conventions, and he'd come back with stories of, like, kids coming in and, like, he would sign their arm, and then the next day they'd come back and tattoo with a tattoo of his name on their arms, like crazy stuff, so yeah, he's definitely loved in many circles, and it's super fun and cool that he's a part of the legendary book. He brings it.
And how much work that guy has done. If you scroll through his IMDb, it's stacked. I mean, he's extremely active in what he does, and it's congratulations for getting.
Same with Mark Boone Jr. too. Most recently was in The Mandalorian there, so you would know that Uplando. His name is. Yeah, but Batman movies, Trey's Lounge, if you're, an indie fan back in the 90s, iconic stuff, these guys. Sons of Anarchy, just a huge dude.
Very, very cool. And Mars, I know you guys in Left House, you guys are just putting this out. This issue is just now coming out. And it sounds like about 6,000 copies. Is that what you said, Mars, total?
Yeah.
And so for people out there, for comic book industry people, and looking at that for an independent comic that would come out from, say, a Dark Horse, a Boom, something like that, that's a really interesting number to have for that kind of print. And I honestly think that these are going to go very quickly. So get your trigger fingers ready to get these books, these packs. And then following that up with a pulp version, could you tell us any more about that? Leak us some info about a pulp physical version of the comic.
I mean, really no info at this point on that. Hopefully we get there. That's gonna have to have a little more success. Like you said, this is a real low number run. We did that on purpose because we plan to just keep coming out with them. And we wanted to make the people that get their hands on these, they're obviously real fans, and the people who are here first. We want to make them valuable. As Uplando and other people, who are into comic books, usually when you have a number one, the company, whoever is printing it, wants to make it a collector's item, and they market it that way and make way too many copies so that everybody can have one, and then it's definitely not a collector's item. So we wanted to make sure we went the other way with that, and the people that were here in the beginning end up having something that's valuable for them long term.
Very cool. Very cool.
So you have the minting, of course, is random. It's not first come, first serve.
No, it is. It's all pre-minted. And the one thing, well, not the one thing, there's a lot of things, but another new thing that we're doing is with the comic packs, they're designed to look like a cellophane pack. So they're clear, and once you open that, the comic's taken out, but you'll get the empty wrapper back with the same mint number as the pack you opened. Because as collectors, we, do love a lot of the cover art or the boxes, things come in, whatever it may be. We had the first series of METAVERSE, and I think they're pretty cool. I'd love to keep some, but I also don't want to waste the cards inside. So we decided with this round that you'll get to keep your opened package, and it's really clear that there's nothing inside. It's going to be on a different schema, so there's no way to mix that up or worry about buying one by accident that you think has cards in it.
Now, can you only buy one at a time, or can you buy 5 or 10 at a time? Is there a limit on the sale, or? I mean, 6,000. That's a very small release. I mean, even your CryptoPunks was 10,000, and you got a bunch of people doing 9,999. So 6,000 is a very small release. So is it one per customer? Can I buy 5 at a time or what?
It's 2 at a time, and for the whitelist pre-sale, there is a half-hour recharge. Never get is 2, so we're guaranteed to have about half go to the public sale, if I do the math right. Actually, I didn't do the math. If I remember the math right, that someone else said, so don't hold me to that. But right around,
I think that's right. Yeah, right around there. I'm on the same page as you. Yeah, I think that's right.
Thanks for backing me up.
Yep. Ballparking it here, but yep.
So yeah, everybody should get a shot. I hope none of it is going to be stakeable right out of the gate. That wasn't any kind of concentration for the comics, especially. We want people to read them and enjoy them. So hopefully we'll won't draw that crowd that bought out a lot of METAVERSE 1 before some people could get it, just for the staking values. So hopefully that'll change the dynamic a little bit for the collectors.
And we do have one of the co-hosts of the Upx Podcast, T. Davis, joining us kind of late, but still here. It's awesome. Thanks for
weird. He's also one of the members of the METAVERSE.
I know, absolutely.
Yeah, look at that.
He's ignoring us.
Hi, T.
The Block Father.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
He dropped out.
Wow.
Look at that.
He's like,
Going back to Umberto's.
yeah.
All right.
So yeah, like with the Upland tie-ins, that is T's place in Upland and in the world of METAVERSE is Umberto's and his beloved Little Italy. So there's a lot of familiar places.
Yeah, TD's doing a lot of stuff. His NFT gamer channel's going on. He's got METAVERSE and Green Rabbit. I mean, you guys are like burning the wick at, I mean, usually people say both ends, but I really believe you guys got about 4 or 5 ends going on that you're burning the wick. So don't know how you guys do it, but awesome stuff that you guys always put out.
Yeah, thank you. It's been interesting, but when it's fun, it's a lot easier to do.
Absolutely.
For sure on that.
But LeftHouse, thank you so much for streaming us on the Upland Action News YouTube channel. Really appreciate that exposure there, and really enjoy all the work you guys do there. Looking forward to your drop tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us on and let us talk about this stuff, because we hadn't had enough opportunity to talk about this today, except we did all day. But yeah, no, awesome. It's really awesome for you guys to have us on, for real. And yeah, check it out. It's I hope you guys get a legendary. I hope I get one too. They're awesome. But yeah,
so
good luck.
People do have time. I do post it at midnight on each Friday. So if you listen to it, if you're our friends over there in Europe or Asia, yeah, you get a head start on everybody else. And we do have a lot of people that listen to us on the way into work. So you still have a chance to catch something on your lunch hour, because I think these things are going to go fast. And I'm very excited for this. And we'll love to get a legendary. And I can't even imagine what the secondary market's going to be on these legendaries.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's only 100 of them. I mean, Jesus.
We try not to mention it so we don't get them any more worked up.
It's just, I know. It's this insanity. Good insanity.
Yeah.
I like it. It's fun. It makes it way more fun this way, like if there was 100 million of them, it'd be boring. So yeah, if you get one, it's good. It's the golden ticket moment. It's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So there is one spot left in the Upland Fantasy Football League. So let me
Wait,
know.
did you already send me my invite? Am I in?
You're in, dude.
All right.
You're good. You've been in right away.
I have not gotten my official invite.
I put it in your Discord.
Oh, okay.
Click the link.
Perfect.
And that's why we're down to one. We do have the Thank Me Later 100,000 Upx giveaway for sending me a DM. And I mean, we are less than 1% of respondees to the amount of people that listen, which is amazing in itself. So we'll go ahead. We got 12 entries here, and we'll go ahead and pick a random name. Jones. Oh, speaking of Jones.
Oh yeah, that's awesome that was him too. Yeah. What about Jones?
What about Jones?
What about Jones?
First off, my name is Too Stupid to Win, so I'm too stupid on a lot of things. And Jones is not Jones D. There's two separate people. And Thank Me Later was trying to tell me I was an idiot, and I told him I wasn't an idiot. But in the end, I'm an idiot. So Jones and Jones D are not the same person. And Jones has the one ferry building, which should be complete here in about another 10 days or so. So that's exciting. It's fully sparked. So thank you everybody that did that. So
yeah, get that shit done. I need my 5 spark back.
Somebody went and jumped us with spark. I forget who it was, but somebody went and had and staked 8. So good for them too.
Oh man, always trying to one up.
Show off.
Good on them though.
Absolutely, but that will be good. First monument built in Upland goes to Jones, and Jones, hit up Thank Me Later for your 100,000 Upx. So wait, I think Jones has higher net worth than you.
Yeah, I was like, no, Jones, you hit me up so I can get 100,000 from you, eh?
Maybe. And
No,
then
that's awesome.
we never really hit our numbers. Do you want to see the 7-day or 30-day really quick before we get out of here for
30-day? Do the 30-day. You know that's all that matters.
Yeah, 30 days, all that matters.
Yeah, 30-day.
All right, and for Mars, what is Mars for? It's an ad.
It's got
Mars
18 people. It's got 18 people playing it. Who
an ad.
cares?
But we got Mars, Utah on the
Mars
show,
4.
so you know maybe he's involved with Mars 4.
Yeah.
Sleeper. The sleeper hit.
No, there is.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Mars 5. I can't do
No,
it.
who was the one guy left house? Was it Mars 3005 in Upland? My great great grandson that we ran into.
Oh yeah, that guy. He was following you around there for a little while.
Yeah.
So Aliens Worlds is creeping back up to that 1 million user mark, 730K. So we still working with bots, or are they got that legitimate there? Thank Me Later.
No, Alien Worlds ain't ever gonna be legitimate. Get out of here.
I love me a TML bot take.
Dude, it's nonsense. Their economy's garbage. Their game had potential, but they let the bots and their greed get the best of them. Our planet shut it down with, their redoing of staking, which good on our planet. Alien Worlds, whatever.
Crypto Blade is still balling out at about 675K.
Totally legit, no bots, 100% clean.
Have you even looked into Crypto Blades?
No, I'm sure they're probably bot ridden as well. Crypto Blades, more like crypto bots, am I right?
Axie Infinity, so it's just
more like Axie bot, am I right?
Like Mark McGuire, not clean.
So at Sports
I think
Reference,
Axie might be real. Axie might be the only one.
No, Axie is real. You know what the key there is? The Asians.
I was going to say the Asian market is huge on this game.
Yeah.
No, Axie Infinity is legit.
Wait, can you say Asian markets nowadays in this society?
You can say Asian markets. You can't say the Asians like I did, but you can say Asian market. That is like an economic term where if you're like the Asians, like that's not like now I'm sorry, we just got canceled. I just got the tweet. Upx Podcast has been officially canceled.
Cancel culture. Thanks, dude. Oh, Upland 100. We're kind of slacking. Upland is only at 132,000 over the last 30 days. I mean, we were pushing closer to 200,000, so we're on the wrong side of it. So we got to ramp things back up.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you haven't watched Letterkenny, watch Letterkenny. You'll thank me later.
Pitter, let's go.
Pitter batter. So I mean, I'll be honest, like I'm probably one of that 13% that hasn't logged in a month. Like I haven't collected Upx, I haven't done a send, I haven't done anything. I don't know. I'm waiting. Give me some content.
What do you need?
I need something to do. I need a reason to log in. I don't want to compete in the treasure hunts anymore. Like I don't want to, like, the events, like, again, they're awesome, but I'm letting new people do it. The new cities, until there's a compelling city for me, I'll let other people go to the cities. I'm waiting. I want to actually own a business. Like that's what I've been waiting all year for. I want to be able to, play some sort of mini game that actually is fun or interactive in some way. I get it. Hopefully it's the calm before the storm. Every developer we've had on here has been touting there's some big thing coming. I feel very strongly it's something soccer related, so I don't know how I feel about it, but if it brings content and players, what?
Damn. It is soccer related. Damn it. Where is it? Hold on.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hold on. Yeah.
Wow. Well, if it's that lackluster, I'm concerned now.
No, I mean, it's not an announcement, but it's kind of flown under the radar, which is interesting in itself.
And you just remembered this after Mort left?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Dude, come live my life.
No, your life sounds horrible, brother.
It's awesome, but challenging.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure it works for you because you're the kind of sadomasochist that would enjoy having all those kids. But for those of us,
you're making it sound like I got a full football team going on.
I mean, most of them wear helmets, so. But that was my
None of my kids wear helmets, for the record.
I just.
All right.
Oh.
Have you seen this?
What is this? Player for.
Yeah, wow.
Oh man, that means to me that this is Soccer X related. So I will put a heavy amount of this on. They're partnering with Soccer X. That's the big partnership, which isn't even MLS.
Right.
Again, I have no knowledge of it. What? There's a picture of a soccer stadium and a soccer. Well, okay. How the hell does that not confirm? Where the
look at.
I'd say that's confirmation.
North. Look at to the north of that stadium. Who is that? You know who it is.
Why is that? Well, and to the right of it.
To the right's okay, but yeah,
that's somebody's block explorer. I know who that is. That's
to the north. It's like that dude's been ghost forever.
Yeah, that's funny. I don't know where. That's really interesting. How did you find this?
That dog is someone too.
Yeah, that dog is someone too.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, so they're talking about showing up and getting. Yeah, it was very interesting. So,
wow.
Wait, so is this? How did you find this?
Somebody sent me the link. Not related to Upland. Nobody from the Upland team.
This is crazy.
Interesting.
So, like before the game, imagine your fans traveling virtually through the metaverse by trains, planes, cars, or even Hyperloop to cities of an upcoming game. Once arrived, fans are offered a variety of activities. During the game, the fans have an early registration, obtain the rights to access rare NFTs called Upland Legates. And then-
Legits?
Legits. Up, sorry.
I don't know. Upland legits?
Yeah, legit.
That's
Yeah. After the game, once the game ended, rare assets are minted and legendary performance, causing it to be super hot and valuable. Fans can purchase additional NFTs and shop runs by fans or sports teams. So it's not only the sports teams that can run it, it's going to be.
Well, I think that's what they're.
The first time you guys are seeing this?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, it is for me.
I sent you the link. You stupid.
I know you did. I was just
We were
out there-
trying to put
I've
you
been out
on
there for-
blast.
Been out there for a couple weeks.
I know.
It's been for a couple weeks. You've been holding this for a
You guys
couple
did the
weeks.
podcast last week, like, oh, I think it could be soccer, it could be football. It's like it's fucking soccer, you guys. Come on.
I didn't know. I'd never seen that.
Come on.
Yeah, Dizzy sent me the link. I was just trying to keep it out of it.
Oh my god! And then last week you were totally arguing like, I don't know. There's some new evidence that makes me think it's not soccer. You're a damn liar. There's some new evidence that tells you it's soccer, but you want to tell me I'm dumb. That's called gaslighting.
No,
What
no.
the hell is wrong with you?
Dizzy sent me the link. He sent me the link on 8/16. So it wasn't last week. It was 3 fucking days ago. Oh, you got me to drop a
Oh, got him. Get
Time
him.
flies when you're with TNL's mom. Oh,
Whoa, jeez, oh, Pete.
Jeez, oh, peace. All right, back to mute.
Dizzy coming in hot.
Bum, bum. Bum, bum.
I love the podcast and I love the people that join us each and every week. So yeah, last week I was all about it had to be football, and then Dizzy sent me the link 3 days ago.
Okay.
So soccer.
Football would be tits, though. Just saying.
Yeah. Soccer. Okay. Interesting.
You get a market update from Dizzy since he jumped back in. Tell us about the Upland cards. What he's seen.
Oh yeah. Have you been watching the?
Upland
Oh my
the portal.
goodness. A little bit. It's been a crazy last day or two. I've had some minor issues and Coinbase issues, and things are pending. It's been a shit show. But from what I've been seeing so after the burn happened, I was kind of, I'll be honest, I was kind of playing the game of, do I burn 100 at a time, the commons to get the mythics with legendaries, or do I try to sell into that bid? I know some people want to do the same thing. And I was probably sitting on over 5,000 commons.
Yeah.
So I think I probably burned about 2,000 and probably sold about 2,000 and probably held about 1,000. The prices on those went up from like 3 to 4 to 5, maybe up to 6 wax, and they came way back down. Some people were around 2 or 3 a piece. And then since the portal launch, I think originally it was discussed that only the blockchain heroes voxel explorers would be importable. The fact that all the cards can be imported now has increased the demand for what's currently on the marketplace. I've slowly started from my commons to my uncommons to my rares, and I think I'm still working on the rares up to legendaries, mythics, etc. List them out on Atomic Hub. But I had some sitting out there at the lowest ask for probably a couple days, and then the last 24 hours, a bunch have sold. So if you have any cards, you're looking to sell them, I think, I guess it depends on what your long-term outlook is for the cards themselves as well as Upland. But the fact that they can be imported in is a huge positive. I don't think that was part of the original plan.
To import them in, I mean, that was definitely always a thing, right? I mean, that was.
Yeah, I thought it was just the blockchain hero explorers that were going to be able to be brought in via the explorer itself. I wasn't 100% sure the cards could be. I remember it kind of talked about, because people were like, well, maybe I could like make posters on my walls or graffiti or something like that. But I thought at some point someone had said, no, it's just gonna be just the explorers, not cards themselves. But yeah, so far so good. Looks good. Looks like the demand is picking up, which is nice because I think without this, those cards lost a lot of value.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see that something is coming of it. That's definitely good for all the holders of those cards.
And I was joking with TML. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. I hit up TML, Too Stupid, T Davis, Courier, Stirs, I think a couple other people. I had about 100 each of your guys' cards, and was like, hey, if you guys want them for shits and giggles, here they are. But I was also kind of keeping like a track of, you know, who's the hero or who's the enemy to see who was getting burned the most.
Oh yeah.
It ended up kind of turning out pretty flat, but I think there were some people ahead to start, and then the ones that actually weren't burnt as much were the prize cards, the ones that kind of have the black background. And I think it was maybe because there was some, I don't know, unambiguous communication around, oh, let's just say I have a golden pinata. Can I bring that in the game and then actually like use it? I think some people thought those prize cards could actually be then redeemed or something. And maybe they can be down the road, but I don't think that was the original plan. But see, there was pinatas, there was treasure chests, there were T-Rex, a couple others, the bats. What was interesting, and I'm still holding a bunch of them, are there was a baseball, a football helmet, and then 3 different style jerseys. I believe a football jersey and then a male and a female soccer. And that's kind of where I was just like, hey, it'd be cool if sometime down the road, you know, could we use those for tickets to get into the stadium if they ever do sports or whatever? And again, I don't think that's ever going to happen, but you know, do I keep one of those or do I burn some, I don't know, some Vox Explorer I could really care less about? So I don't know. Overall, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, the burns on those were like 373 on average for each of the individual common cards, and then, you know, above 500 on some of the individuals. So it did reduce the overall number. I think 1,500 and some odd was the common for everybody's common cards. So that has kind of really reduced the overall number of commons closer to the, you know, uncommon numbers. But it was very interesting to see how many of those cards got burnt and how many of them re-entered into the marketplace. So I have seen a dump in terms of some of the commons back down to 36 cents, 32 cents. It was up to over $1 at one point during the burn. And a lot of the mythics and legendaries that came out of those up for sale as well. Yeah, so it's been interesting to see the market.
That's awesome. That's a good point too. Yeah, the mint numbers, and then there's still a couple hundred of those still sitting in packs too. So that, you know, they may or may not ever come out. I'm just gonna, not to completely change directions here. So while I've been chatting here, I had the partner.upland.me soccer metaverse thing up on my screen. They started previewing some kind of chat feature.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, so I don't know if that's been discussed or if that's new or if that's just way down the road. But I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So it's kind of cool.
Somebody should try it. See if you get an answer. Start chatting.
Yeah.
And also the Block Explorer, they talked about Block Explorer stores being the first store, but now there's talk of the NFT, and there had been a little blurb in there about this being NFT stores or business licenses for these types of things. So now we've got potentially another business license being thrown into the mix.
Yeah, that'll be interesting if they convert or they add.
Yeah, I think you would have to reapply, and then those would be, and they said access to it. It's a blurb in there. It's a bullet point about having access to data, metrics, maybe something of that nature, which had never been really discussed before in the previous beta business stores. So that seemed to be interesting. I did want to ask Mars and Left House while you have them still, the packs that you guys originally, the first series packs, those had an expiration date of a year, and after the year you could not open those packs. Will that carry over to these packs as well?
No, we didn't put those deadlines on these. So we kept it simple. We don't think that too many of these are going to be held up the same way. And yeah, we just enough complicated wrinkles in this one, so we left that one out.
Fair enough. Very cool.
So thank me later. Was it a great show?
Yeah, I would say it was at very least an above average show.
You won't confirm great.
Yeah, above average.
Lefthouse and I aim for above average.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
I
damn
mean-
good. Solid.
I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of, like, but I'm probably not putting it on the fridge. Like, it's gonna go on the counter with the mail that I'm never gonna sort through. But like, I won't throw it away.
All right, that sounds fair. You have anything else before we get out of here this week?
No, I'm good.
All right, Jones, make sure you hit up thank me later for your 100,000 Upx.
Yeah, not Jones D.
Not Jones D. I already ate crow. Get over it.
Well, no,
owe
I'm just
him a
saying,
thing.
Jones D, don't try and slide in my DMs.
There you go. We do appreciate you each and every week. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Make sure you follow us Upx Podcast. Make sure you definitely check out this METAVERSE comic drop. Hopefully you listen early enough that you can get in on the whitelist. Or what does it take to get in on the whitelist? Is it too late for people?
It is too late for the whitelist. So it was based on crafting the champions and a few other things that we were throwing out in our Discord over the last few weeks here.
All right. So now you're up to the general public sale. So good luck there. Definitely you want to get your hands on it. Good luck on your guys' release tomorrow. I think it's going to be amazing and awesome. And hopefully I can snag me a couple. And until next week, everybody be safe. And we'll be looking forward to what we can do for a year anniversary with Mars Utah song and the theme of the Upx podcast.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's the Upx Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, thank me later, and you're stupid to win. Might be coming obsession as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then lock in iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your Upx, man. On your way in the door, hit you with $4 grand. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling.